teachers, and welcome back to part 2 all about Google Docs and ideas to implement them into your classroom. Let's take a look at our companion document, and we're right over here in our Docs zone. You just took notes over the tools and tips from the first video, and in this video I'm going to walk you through these example lessons and activities that utilize all these tools and tips that you just learned. Remember, you can use any of these. You can have copies of everything. They're all free for you to have and use. The first one here is showing you about the pageless options, which also this document itself that we're using has a pageless option in play here. But I also wanted to give you this resource. This is a Google training reference sheet that I built for a training I did a couple years ago, but it's still pretty useful. You can see this is a pageless document where there's no page breaks. And then you can see how there are things that are hyperlinked. And so you can like jump straight to certain areas or go back to the home because things are hyperlinked together. So this is kind of a great idea of how you might want to see a pageless document in real time. It also has some of these animated GIFs here that you can put into a Google Doc because that has that functionality. So pageless options are great. And you'll see it here in the document that you're working in. There are no page breaks. And when you have that, you can include these little drop-down options and tables. So that's all a feature when you're in pageless mode. You're probably wondering how I did that. Let me show you real fast. If you wanted to add another area to make the little drop downs, then I would go underneath where I've been working and let's just put in a text. And then once you have the text, you actually come over here and remember we choose title if we want it to go to table of contents. Well, the heading will also build onto that table of contents in pageless options. But look what else it does. It gives me that little drop down so that I could collapse content that I put underneath this section. So if you want to know how I made that, that's how. The next thing I want to show you is this planning project page. So this one utilizes the drop downs. You can kind of see how these go together. In this planning page, and if anything opens like that for you, just expand full view by hitting open in a new tab. And when you do that, it opens just like this. This has a good example of the drop downs that we mentioned earlier. So this is a project planning page. The students maybe are working, multiple students on a group project. You can use this page. They can check in on their progress. You might even add like a teacher section of like what you've reviewed or what you haven't reviewed. But it's a great way to kind of keep up with students as they're working through projects that take multiple class periods, or maybe you're in high school in different AB schedules and you have a lot of moving parts to keep up with. This helps keep students organized and you. So these kind of shows you how that could work, and feel free to use it, take it, remake it, whatever you need. Now, everybody loves the emojis, and the emoji reactions are really fun. This is just an example of how students could do this with like a social emotional check-in. So here you just have some questions and then students would vote. And so they could add a new emoji or vote. When they vote, like agree with one. Isn't that cool? How it increases the number so you can kind of see if people are team Chick-fil-A or Starbucks. I am team Starbucks only because I am addicted to coffee. So you can just jump on and kind of play with the emoji reaction feature here in this activity. And then what's better, like Minecraft or Fortnite? What's your sport? So that's really fun for kids to kind of react in just a check-in way. Another thing that's really cool in Google Docs is the table of contents. And so that allows you, as you can see here, just to jump around a document and go where you need without having to funnel through those super long documents. I've seen a lot of people with these endless documents, and I really hope people will start adding that table of contents to make it so that you can jump through. And just notice how I added like these little emojis, these icons just kind of help trigger things, make them a little bit more easy on the eyes and appealing. And that's just with that right click, add an emoji feature, okay? Now, another thing in Docs that I love are these hyperlinking. And so This is an example of choice boards. Teachers love using choice boards during intervention time and extension time. This is one made up by Shake Up Learning, Casey Bell, and this is a free copy, and she's cool with everybody kind of using it. But there could be choice menus made in docs. Sometimes people think only slides you can make them, but here's an example of it in docs. And you can just add some hyperlinks to it, and then kids can jump through and do that. And then look, right, she added a drop down. Isn't that cool? So you can have drop downs, you can hyperlink. It's like add your own link here, remake any of this, and kind of ask your students to go through and complete the challenge. The last example I have for you is integrating drawings. And we've kind of talked about this in the other video, but I just wanted to show you another example. Here we've got elements that are hyperlinked. And so you can share these with students. They can jump from those and do some research and then come back to this page to explain. This is a story plan. So it kind of has the key parts of the story that they would need. Double click, they open up the drawing, and now they can add text, they can handwrite, whatever, to add their work. And then you will see their work embedded right there into the doc. It's really cool to see that. And so this is another drawing. So drawing after drawing, and then the kids edit and they are showcasing their work. And then this is just a little choice like this or that, like which way do you want to retell your story? I think it's really important to give students options of how they want to create. You know, this is where they're going to buy into it because they had a choice and how they want to showcase their knowledge. And anytime students get to have choice and a partnership and collaboration in what they're doing, they're going to be more engaged. I hope you guys enjoy some of the new features in Google Docs and try some of them out with your students. I don't think they're going to disappoint. Good luck.